What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this week's coaching call. It's the first week of September, and usually on these calls, it's live every Monday. And my wife, you've seen on my page, she joins as well. We talk about different topics that people are struggling with, what I feel like is a very good value to add into your health and fitness journey. But today it's going to be recorded. It's Labor Day weekend. So after you watch this, please let me know if there's anything you're struggling with, any questions you have, anything you want to clarify. Maybe I hit on a point today that really is impacting you, please DM me. Please hit me with a message. I'm going to help you work through it. It is, like I said, September. This is the time that most people are going to basically lower their standards, right, in the fall. It's busy, holidays are coming. But what I say always, instead of life just pulling you down, you need to raise your standard right now because I was talking about this earlier. From now until the end of the year, you can create a lot of separation, a lot of good healthy habits and lifestyles and routines that can stay with you. Everything you're trying to do with health and fitness goals, you know it, you want a lifestyle, you want something that's sustainable. But in order to do that, you got to give yourself 30, 60, 90 days for the routines and the way you think, the way you bounce back from bad weekends. You need to solidify that way of thinking. It takes time. Then you build a new personality. That personality will carry you very, very far, right? But you got to let it compound. So the identity shift is like the person you are doesn't collapse when life gets a little busy, the sun starts going down early or anything. You're going to raise your standards. When you raise your standards, you can do amazing because every choice you make right now is going to start compounding. It's 120 days from now until the end of the year. That's 120 days to win or for you to go into a downward spiral. And I don't want that for anyone. You have the blueprint, the tools, but along the way, there's gonna be a lot of different things that pop up. So the first question that we have that I want to talk about is, should you focus on tracking macros or calories? On just an overview level, they both matter just as much because first of all, your macros are made from your calories. Whatever your calorie goal is, it's split into three macros: carbs, protein, and fats. The number one macro you want to focus on, no matter what, and this is a part of building that lifestyle and the habits, is protein. I don't want a day to go by that you are not within range of your protein goal. Whatever your protein goal is, you need to get yourself close to that number and you need to start doing it 7 days in a row, 14 days in a row, 21 days in a row. I'm not expecting to be perfect. There's going to be different things that pop up. You might have a day where you eat no protein, but that's okay because the more times you do it than not, the more you're building that resiliency of hunting for protein. Like literally, when you wake up in the morning, you should be thinking, how am I going to hit my protein goal today? And by tracking your food, you're going to see how far you off, what you need to improve on. Maybe we realize that there's a hole in your day around 2 o'clock where you could be having something high protein, but instead you go for a muffin. Okay, that's one tweak we can make. So if you're very far off your protein goal, don't get overwhelmed. You're a few tweaks away from maybe cutting that difference in half for 1 week and then the next week working a little more. Everything takes time, right? But if you're missing out on protein, you're actually leaving calories that you could be burning just by eating that protein off the table. Because what you have to understand is you just eating protein, there's something called a thermic effect of food. Your body is going to burn calories just breaking that protein down. And if you miss your protein every single day, that could be the difference of, you know, a cardio session once per week or twice per week. And that starts adding up real quick. You do not want to be one of those people that have to run on a treadmill for the rest of your life. But if you built the lifestyle habits around protein, your body's burning more calories at rest. And I'll share my screen with you real quick. Um, I just have a couple of notes. I think sometimes visuals are very easy for us to kind of wrap our head. That's how I've learned everything. That's how I want to share with you guys as well. So, okay, first and foremost, let me just explain how calories work and how your body burns calories. Every single day, you have something called total daily energy expenditure. How many calories your body's going to burn every single day. First of all, there's something called BMR. This is your basal metabolic rate. What this means is if you didn't move all day, you just laid there, your body's still going to burn X amount of calories. Our goal is to like, and you can see from this triangle, it is the highest pillar in this pyramid You burn more calories in your BMR every single day. Your heart pumping, your blood pumping, your lungs going in and out. It's for most people, this could be 1,500 calories being burned every single day, right? If we eat protein, we build some lean muscle tissue, you start strength training, the body composition that you will live with every single day will have a higher BMR. So let's say your BMR is 1,500 calories. By doing this program, by eating the protein, by building the muscle, by losing the body fat and having more muscle mass on your body, you're going to have a higher BMR at rest. So every single day you just have a faster metabolism. This is and what I'm trying to say is this is your metabolism in a nutshell. If you change your body composition, every day you could burn an extra 300 calories by doing nothing because you have a more optimal body composition, right? So people who are unhealthy and overweight or too high body fat and not enough muscle, they're working harder than they need to be. You just have to get yourself to a healthy body and then you can chill. That can be your new baseline. I think we're all pretty good at holding a baseline. I know some of us like we gain weight and that's why we panic, but let's say we gain 20 pounds at some point. Like we could keep that 20 pounds. That's the baseline. So what I want you to do is just make a new baseline. So we have to really work on this. So this is the way you look every single day. Next up is something called NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is you just every single day how active you are, moving around, getting up to go to the washroom, twiddling your thumbs, all these small little micro movements, going for walks, they add up throughout the day. Next is thermic effect of food. So this is when you eat food, just digesting that food is going to burn off some calories. For protein and fat, the thermic effect of food is very minimal, very, very minimal. With protein, it's a lot. 20% of the calories you eat from protein could be burned up just from you eating it. Well, it will be burned up. That's how much it takes for your body to burn it. So that's where protein comes in. And then this is the rest, which is just every single day. This is not what you eat. This is just your exercise. So let's say you work out 4 times a week. That's 400 calories maybe you burn or 500 calories. Everything here is a lot more than that. So exercise is the last thing we really want to, it's not the last thing, it's a part of it, but you really want to make sure the food is right because the food is going to make up all of this. If you start not eating enough protein and feeling really low in energy, you're not going to move around as much. You might sit in a chair a lot longer. You might not get your steps in. Now you miss a pillar here. So everything is connected, okay? Now, what I want for you guys is to focus on protein first because a lack of protein is a hole in your boat. You need a sturdy boat that's going to carry you very far. And I kind of put an illustration here. A lot of waves are going to come at you throughout life. You're going to have parties, you're going to have New Year's parties, you're going to have birthday parties, you're going to have falling off on the weekends, you're going to have macros that you're missing all the time, and eventually hormone changes. For males, our muscle mass is going to degenerate over time. For females, you're going to go through perimenopause, menopause, hormonal changes. So if you have holes in your boat right now, as you start getting to more choppy waters, you're screwed. So we want to first cement that routine habit of hitting your protein every single day. It's going to take you very far. It's not only about it's not only about right now. It's not only about today. It's about setting yourself up for a really strong foundation. What you do in this program, how you learn to think about food, how you hit your protein goals, how you manage your calories, track calories, you're building a system that can stick with you for life. Imagine you ate properly now, going forward for the next 5, 10, 15 years. That separation I talked about earlier that you see for yourself and where you could be at the end of the year, this separation can really make a big difference. Like, imagine your friends and family, if they don't eat right now properly and their blood sugar is spiking and they have brain fog and they don't move their body and they don't exercise and they don't do any of this, in the next 10 years, you're going to start noticing a huge difference between where they ended up and where you are now. And then in 15, 20 years, a bigger difference. This, what you're doing now, it's like as you start zooming out, life goes on, you really start to grasp the severity of a downfall in someone's life and someone who was able to maintain their body, being strong, being healthy. It's all connected. So you need to focus on both calories, but mainly protein, right? Because if you just focus on calories, what's going to happen is you might lose some weight and technically you will lose weight, but you're going to lose some muscle mass and then your BMR goes down. Then your cravings go up. Then your clothes don't fit right. And so then you start panicking. It's psychological as well. And I'll share my screen again because I wanted to bring a lot of visuals today to kind of show you guys. So I always say that like either the volcano or the iceberg analogy. When you're first learning the way I'm going to teach you, you don't see a huge drop in skill right away because it's not just a crash diet. You're not juice cleansing. You're not cutting out all your carbs. I'm giving you diet exercise advice, but beneath the surface, the psychology of how you feel about yourself is changing. Your relationship with food is changing. When you start feeling better and you're closer to feeling better, your feelings and beliefs on who you can be start changing. This is majority of what we see in the mirror is the way we think about ourselves, the way we have confidence, a game plan, a strategy going into the weekend, how much to eat, how to bounce back, how to not panic, how if you're really far in your journey and you're with a group of friends and family that have always peer pressured you, how to in one ear out the other and not fall to peer pressure, not people please. It's all a part of this. You're gonna feel a lot of confidence, and then the results on the outside will show. But it takes time. It's a delayed effect, but the effect you see is gonna be lifelong. And this is what it feels like when you first start the program. Feels like you're working harder now, but as you start getting used to, being aware of what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, you share your food entries. Able to give you more guidance. It's gonna feel like this eventually. And then if I say, okay, drop your calories by 100 or 200 calories, you know exactly what to do because you've built all the patterns and routines, right? So this is what I want to get you guys to because once you're here, you can chill. You're good to go. Your body is now optimal. Your mindset is optimal. Eating protein and all these things, it's like a second thought. And you've done hard things in your life. You've If you've had kids, you didn't want to. Like you've had moments where you almost wanted to crash out, but you took care of your kids anyways. If you got a degree, if you started work, if you got promoted, if you've learned how to drive a car, these are all things in the beginning. It's like that square. You don't really know how to do things, but eventually it's so easy. Same thing with this. You need to get to the point where it's very easy. Um, yeah. So that's why the macro to prioritize the most is protein, and then how to focus on tracking your macros, like the macros and calories analogy. Like I'm telling you, you really need to just zoom out. If you're not seeing the results you're seeing, let's look at the progress. Let's look and see, okay, are you doing good Monday or Friday, but on the weekends, I don't see any entries being logged? Well, that's where the hole is in your boat. It's the weekend, right? Are you good for 3 weeks and that fourth week you burn out? Okay, so then why are you burning out? Maybe you need a reset in terms of getting your sleep optimized. Maybe you need a reset of not having your screen next to your face at nighttime before you sleep because that's burning you out. Scrolling all day, everything is connected, guys. Everything is connected. The only way you're going to come out on top is if you really have awareness of where the hole is in your boat. And sometimes it takes time to realize where the hole is in your boat. But first of all, if you're not tracking your food and you're not hitting your macros, that's the biggest hole right there. That will sink your ship. And then you're not even gonna keep your head above water. You're gonna start feeling like you're drowning. And I don't want anyone to feel like they're drowning here. So let's figure out what's the hole in your boat. And I think it's probably good. Drop in the group, where's the hole in your boat? If you could pinpoint something, like just very common sense. It's my food. I'm not eating the right food, or I'm not hitting my steps. All these things compound. If you don't hit your steps every single day, let's say you're short by 2,000 every single day. By the end of the week, you're short by 14,000 steps. That's almost half a pound of fat you could have lost that week. So every small thing counts as well. So then now I gotta increase my steps. How do I increase my steps? I gotta wake up 10 minutes early because at 10 minutes at nighttime, it's 20 minutes of walking left and I never hit it. So I chop it in half. Now I only have 10 minutes at nighttime and I can maybe go for a quick 5 minute walk. You just chip away at it. Your protein, everything is a moving picture. But I promise you, once you get the hang of it and you do it for more often and you fight through the urges to self-sabotage, you fight through the urges of at nighttime on Friday night, wanting to just pig out and say, oh, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow or I'll do it next week. When you fight through that and you come out on the other side, you're going to come out stronger. And you have a blueprint locked in place for life. I don't track my macros every single day anymore because I've locked these results in for life. People in the program, once they're done, they don't track all the time. They track when they want to learn a new food, when they want to just kind of see a temperature check of where they're at. It's a skill you develop. But first, focus on hitting your protein goal. Focus on being within range of your calories, right? Focus on every hole you could have in your boat. As we get to the end of the year here, I want you to really patch up those holes so that as life starts hitting with different waves, professional life, personal life, anything, you're ready to go. At least your health won't take a hit because the boat you're in is secure enough to get through choppy waters. So drop in the group what you feel like the hole in your boat is, or DM me if there's something that you feel like you're slacking on right now that you need help with. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. I'm here to make sure you guys step into the healthiest timeline. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this recording and please let's get dialed in and have a challenge that just started as well. If you're still around with me at the end of the call here, put in the group. Grand prize winners, do your macros, do your workouts, try your best every single day. This is not about being perfect, just try your best. And there's gonna be um, winners I'm gonna pick, and I'm gonna send some prizes out. It's just a fun competitive environment. I think competition always kind of makes us do a little more. So yeah, September challenge, it's live, and I'll drop more details in the group as well. But let's dial it in. Let's win September. Let's win the rest of the year. The new year is coming quick. You can finally be that person in the new year where you are not starting from scratch anymore. You are completely underway and in momentum. I'll talk to you guys in the app, and we'll see you in the next call.